Disclaimer: this product was provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone. To have your product reviewed, visit bit.ly/reviewmyproduct.
Hello everybody, Jackie from dreadandblotter.com here today to talk about the BM-700 toner microphone. Now, this microphone is a great deal on Amazon, and I know the number one question right out the gate is, how does it sound? So, before I dive into the whole thing, setting it up, getting it ready, all the features of it, let's just talk about how it sounds.
Okay, now the first thing you want to know is to talk into the side where the toner logo is. That's going to get you the best sound quality, basically. Now, this is me talking without. It comes with a pop filter and a wind filter, so obviously you'll hear each, like, kind of sound as I speak. But, yeah, and then here it is with the pop filter on. Now, as you can hear, there's a little less sound, a little less poppy in my voice, a little less, etc., etc. But I have found so far with this microphone that the sound quality is really good. I'm really happy with it. Considering the price point to some of those more expensive streaming podcasting microphones are hundreds of dollars, and a lot of creators just don't have that kind of money to just drop to pick up a side hobby as it starts for a lot of us, and then move on to making more money with it. And then the wind filter. So, wait. Yes, okay. The wind filter also fits on really, really well, I was glad. In my testing, it stays on very securely. So I can move it all around and it doesn't just pop off. I had another one that I had for quite some time in the past that would pop off. So anyway, there it is with the wind filter on a little bit, I wouldn't say that this microphone is like professional studio quality. Like if you're trying to drop an album or something, I think I would go a little bit, maybe a different choice. But I mean, if this is just what fits in your budget, this is what fits in your budget. So, end of the audio test, that is what it sounds like.
So, overall, I'm very happy with this microphone. I think it is considerably well made considering the price point of it. And for some, I'll try and pull it in a little bit closer. It is, let me just take it out of the case actually. So, one thing to note, you do need an external power source with this. They have it on the Amazon site on the 2 different options I believe you can have that will give it power. Definitely look into those before you get it because it's not one that you can just plug in and it works. So that is something you'll want to keep in mind. Here is what it looks like, a little bit more up close, which I was surprised that it's all metal. The whole thing is metal. The stand too, everything is metal and great. Surprisingly well built considering my standards were not that high. I just needed something basic to get the job done, and I was blown away at how much better it was performing than I thought it would. There are also adjustments here, so you can go up, you can go down. Also, obviously here, which lets you, there it goes, like up, this way, depending on how you like to set it up. Some people like to have the mic drop down, some people like it pointed up like I do. And I like that the stand is really well built and this microphone moves wherever I want it to. A lot of microphones I've tested before, you'll put it here and then over 10, 15, 20 minutes, it just starts to kind of, within their own weight. And this thing just stays wherever I want it to go for the most part. The only problem I found is, the only weakness I found was right here in this thing. It seems to, no matter how tight this part is, it still kind of as you can see, wobbles. Don't mind all of my notebooks and all of my boards everywhere. Organization. So far I've noticed it's compatible with both the computers I have. It's my Mac and my gaming computer, which is great. It does have a sound card, this little USB one right here, which gives you the option of the microphone. If you have one that only has like a headphone port, you really want one that has both. I did notice that for some reason, like the USB is just ever so slightly loose. So when it's plugged into either one of my computers, like it kind of like it like sits down a little bit like that. Just a minor quality build. It doesn't seem to affect the sound quality or the volume control of it. Mentioning the volume, also I have noticed that when I plug it in, I do need to go into the settings on both my Mac and my gaming computer and crank the decibels up a little bit because it doesn't naturally have a loud volume. If you just plug it in and use it, so far in my experience with my computers, the volume is very soft. So you just like on my Mac, I'll show you. For example, on my Mac, I can go into here, and when it is plugged in, it pops up as USB port, and I can just move this up. Pretty much same thing on my Windows. You just go into sound, go into settings, and then I think it's device properties, and then just crank it up to make it a little bit louder, which is you'll need to even sound like at a decent level for streaming or podcasting or YouTube content, whatever it is, to make it louder. That's what you'll need to make it louder. So inside the box comes with the microphone, I think this shock mount is what this is called, so it doesn't, these little cords kind of hold it in place to keep it from, from my understanding, basically vibrating sounds through the microphone, because when you do move it, like I have noticed, like it will kind of like pick up noise from the stand. It comes through the microphone. Like if I just like all of a sudden move it, you'll hear that like rattly noise through the microphone. I mean, most do that. It's very hard to kind of override that. But the windscreen, the pop filter, the desk lamp stand, sound cord, and some cables like this one that is a 3.5 millimeter one, and then the one that goes into the sound card. So it comes with both. You need the external power in order to make it have energy, produce sound. But overall, that's pretty much it. I've been using it for streaming on our Twitch channel, and in my own experience, sometimes I use it even for like just calls to talk to people, because sometimes my ear microphones, like it'll rub against my sweater, and it just sounds really annoying. And this gives me like a crystal clear so people can hear me kind of. So overall, very happy with it. It is nice. It's movable. It looks really professional, which is kind of nice. I just like the blue color. Blue is my favorite color. So that's just a side note, totally unrelated to the quality and the build of the microphone. But I do like how professional it looks and how solid it works. And I am personally not a wild professional pro on external power sources. I would look at the Amazon comments and the reviews on Amazon, because some people have very intense advice for if you're looking for I just have a basic one and it gets the job done. But there's some people who have recommendations for when you want to use it professionally, or you have very specific uses for it, and the types of sound cards and external power sources that can handle all of that. So definitely check those out, and get some further deeper advice if that's something, if you want to use this on a more professional level than just outside of streaming, podcasting, YouTube content, etc., etc. So that is pretty much it. A solid microphone, a solid build, very easy to set up. I think right out of the box it took me about 2 minutes to get set up and like clamp it together. And I'm always moving it around. I'm moving it from this desk to this desk around, and the clamp is really easy on the bottom to just simply, it's one of these kind of clamps, so you just, and if you're in a tight spot, you can just kind of like, but outside of that, great microphone, great for any kind of content, great sound, holds up really well. I had very little issues. Mine was like the little bit of wheat stand, a little bit of a wheat build in the USB, but that's pretty much it. The main point is that the sound is fantastic, and I'm very happy with it so far. So that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Link to a little more details down below, along with a link to just check it out on Amazon if you want it. So that is it. Thank you for watching. And as always, please subscribe to the Dread and Blood YouTube channel. Thank you.